going to own that stock, and they will benefit from it after the fact. You will lose. But if you have the stock certificates in your hand after the announcement, you can say, okay, ABC Corporation or company, I own 5 shares of your stock, and so if you'll send me updates and let me have your P&Ls and your net operating expense reports and things like that, I would be very happy about that, and I can come to your stockholders meetings once a year or whatever. And if you don't do that, the broker will own your stock, and it will go bye-bye from you.
Now, what about people who are with, say, a city who have their money in, like, PERS or something like that?
PERS would be a pension fund. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
It's a state.
Pension funds are probably going to go bye-bye. And so here, I don't want to scare anybody because that's my intent. I'm trying to give you guys a heads up on what you might be able to do to protect yourself. That's what I'm saying. If you have money in a pension fund of any kind and you can get your hands on it, I've talked to several people that they can't get their hands on the pension fund. The companies won't release them, and even with a penalty. So you may lose completely. But if you can draw your pension funds out and take a hit on it, whatever percentage they're going to take for early withdrawal, my suggestion is that you consider it, okay? Because once this happens, it's probably going to be gone.
Question, Carol.
Yes, ma'am.
Or comment. This is Lynn. I personally, with my 401k, about 6 weeks ago, called them up and said I wanted it out of the stock market. And what they did was they put it into a secured money market. They won't let me take the money, take a penalty, anything, unless I leave that company. And even after this RV, my plan is to stay with my company because I love my job. But so will I probably lose that money?
More than likely, honey.
Well, I mean, no, I understand that, but
you can quit contributing to it. I
have. Yes, I have.
Okay. There's going to be plenty of money around, okay? If you're not in any of the prosperity programs and you don't have much dinar and you're not going to get too much back from IRS, John McAfee from NESARA has set up a fund for people that didn't receive enough money to help them out. I have told my phone family for many years, I've collected names and phone numbers, which stays private with me, and anybody that's going to need help after the fact, they will get help because there's many people in my organization that are prosperity program members, and so there'll be enough money in groups that will be able to help people out. And that goes for people I run across, too. They don't have to necessarily be a member of my phone family, but we're humanitarians. We're philanthropic. We're altruistic. We want to help people, and that's what this money is. We're going to get nice new houses and buy property and probably start organic gardens and drive a fairly nice car and that kind of thing, and maybe take some trips. God wants us to enjoy the money, but we're going to have so much money, those of us that have been blessed, that we need to give it away. That's what they want us to do. We've been chosen to disperse this money to those that didn't get in on it, It's just like I've heard on some of these Dinar calls, people, the ordinary run-of-the-mill people are going to be absolutely fried when they find out that some people were allowed to invest in the Dinar and they didn't even know about it. Well, that news may not... Hang on a minute, I got to mute. I think I'm going to sneeze. And I think I got rid of it. Sorry about that. Let's see, where was I? The Dinar.
Well, and some people didn't even want to hear from us either. They thought we were out.
I would hate to see somebody go without shoes or food, but by the same token, there's two definitions. One is ignorance and one is stupidity. You're ignorant until you've been told about something, and then you're stupid if you don't pay attention to it, okay? I don't like to use the word stupid, but I sure have met a lot of stupid people in the last few years, people that I consider stupid. But because people have been trying to educate people for a long time, and just like those of you that have made the comment tonight, that now that you're finding these things out, your family and friends, they just roll their eyeballs when you talk to them and and say, where in the heck did you hear that kind of nonsense? So there's a lot of people that are not going to accept the heads up. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to enrich their lives. If they're homeless or they need, a leg up, I'll make sure that their bills are paid for a couple of months and help them find a job. I will be creating a lot of work for a lot of people and helping where I can, but you can't save the world. You can only do what you can do, and I don't want anybody thinking there was a word that came about back in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. It could have been the 70s when it started. The word is codependent. Mm-hmm. And we that grew up in, the 40s, 50s, and 60s, we were groomed to be codependent. We want to help everybody. Mm-hmm. We want to get in their business and straighten it out, and we want to help everybody, and we can't. And Deepak Chopra wrote a book, and I ran across it in the 80s when I was starting to go through my horrendous tailspin, which I had a guy cheat me out of $80,000 that threw me into a bankruptcy where I lost 3 homes that I owned and everything, and I was really suffering with some bad bed-bound depression. And I love books, and I had a hard time walking past a Walden's bookstore in a mall or anything, and so I stopped to thumb through this Deepak Chopra book, and I started looking at the table of contents, and there was a chapter in there about detaching, and I'm thinking, detaching? That was a new one for me. And the word codependent had been thrown around a little bit, and I hadn't really accepted it as I was codependent. I just know that when I saw the word detach, I railed at that. I didn't want to hear that because it meant like you were a cold person. You didn't care about other people. Well, over the years, I found out more about that, and I understand it better now. So I don't rail at it, and I embrace it, and we all have to become able to detach from other people's stuff. Sometimes people need to learn lessons, and I know that sounds pretty cold, but when you stop and think about it, there's a lot of people that make some very foolish decisions about their choices and their path in life, and it's just like when you're a parent, you think, oh my God, I'm going to be able to teach my kids so much and save them from all this heck that I've been through. No, you're not.
They have to do their own.
They have to do their own.
Yes.
They have their own lessons to learn, and so we can't save everybody.
Right.
And those of us that have been stripped of all our material goods and everything, we have been taught about priorities, and we have become less materialistic, and we have a better understanding of helping humanity and where the help is needed, because we went through it, and we know what could have helped us at the time, and thank God we went through these challenges and these losses and so forth, because we're better for it. There's an old saying that says, if it didn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
That's true. Now, I have one last question, and it will help me greatly, because I was advised to put Dinar in a Roth IRA.
Oh, dear.
And I did put it in, because it goes in, you paid your taxes on it, and when it revalues, then it is, it's tax-free. So I will lose that then.
My thought is yes, but I could be wrong, honey. I don't want to scare you to death, but they have used every device possible to con you into turning loose of things of value.
Because, a Roth IRA is it's you put your tax dollars, you've already been taxed on it. So the theory is once you hit 59.5, and I'm close to that, you can pull it out tax-free because you've already, tax was already paid on the dinar, though it's at a lower value. But it revalues at a higher rate. Then you have to store it at a depository.
Oh, dear. Well, my take on this, and I, of course, haven't analyzed the situation, and I don't know jack about it right now, but I do have a feeling about it, and that is this. Is there any way you can pull your dinar out?
I'm going to find out.
If you can get your dinar out of that account, I would do so, even with a penalty, okay? Save as much of it as you can. Now, as far as the taxes that have been paid on it, hopefully you're going to be getting that back, because from what I've been told, everything we've ever paid into the IRS from the time we started paying taxes on our income, which we should never have been taxed on income, is coming back to us. They've tracked it, and they know who's paid what, and it will come back to you. So you will have returned to you the taxes that you paid up front in this Roth IRA.
Well,
but as far
it cost me a couple of $1,000 to set up the Roth.
That's
what's the killer.
Oh God!
Dinar I didn't put much dinar in it, because it's the setting up the Roth. That's what cost.
Well, so, if you can get salvage what dinar you can, and when you get that dinar back, if you can buy some more dinar to make up the difference. I mean, if we haven't revalued, which I sure hope we revalue this week.
Me
I'm like somebody else. I'm sitting on pins and needles hoping it'll come through real quick. But
me too.
If it doesn't, because we've been waiting so long, we don't know exactly when it's going to come in. Try to buy some extras and make up the difference that you lost by putting it in there. But do the best you can. Keep your dinar close to you. I'm going to hit a couple of other things. I hope Lynn and Pam don't mind while I'm on the subject.
Thank you for this. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Safety deposit boxes in banks. Get everything out of a safety deposit box. It is not safe in a safety deposit box. The bank is going to clean you out. Nothing will belong to you. So go in there immediately, clean it out, and keep it in a safe place, either in your home or somewhere else where it is safe. It is not safe in a bank safety deposit box, I guarantee you. That is a big no-no. The other thing is, we've all heard wrap your money in aluminum foil or store your guns and coin collections and artwork in a soft-leaded secret room. Those methods don't protect you from prying eyes of the dark agenda any longer. From what I understand, there's only two things that their prying eyes can't see through, and that is copper and barium. Now, barium is not something you want to be dealing with. It's very toxic. But copper, if you'll wrap your dinar in copper, especially if you have to cross state lines to go cash it out or exchange it, if you want me to be politically correct, copper, their equipment can't see through the copper from what I've been told. The postal departments have a vibrating machine. If you look at your Federal Reserve notes, there is a strip on the left-hand side of the face image on a bill. And that is a little electronic strip that when the Postal Service's equipment and any other prying eyes agencies or vans that are parked along the side of a highway and you're carrying money to go to a casino, they can target that money or target your car or target any money you've got in an envelope that you're sending your grandchildren, and they can tell how many bills that you have of whatever denomination. They can tell exactly how much money you have wherever it is, okay? So they have ways to spy on that. So they have these rays or microwaves or whatever you want to call it that see through the roof of your house or through the walls of your house. Now, when you paint your house inside, what you want to do is to get a very heavy-laden metal copper content paint. It can't just be a copper color paint. It has to have copper metal flakes in it so that it's a good metal content. And you paint the inside of your house, the ceiling and the sidewalls and everything with this copper paint, and then you can paint any color over it. And from what I understand, they cannot see through that. As far as your money goes, a friend of mine that lives in Denver went to a Hobby Lobby last week, and they bought a roll of, it's almost like aluminum foil, only it's copper foil. And they paid $9.95 for it, retail. And my suggestion